Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 18th part of What If Deku Was Sanji's Reincarnation, My Heroes Reborn. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I believe links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 18, After the Games. Izuku was getting an earful from Recovery Girl for using Hell Memory's Smash again. Especially since he actually broke his leg this time instead of stress fractures. So she smacked him with her cane. I told you not use that attack, and what do? You use it anyways, muttered Recovery Girl. Izuku sighed, rubbing where she hit him. That was when All Might and Hibiki both entered the room. Wait. Both of you are here, said Izuku. Yep. We've been working out a joint custody agreement, joked Hibiki. Seriously? Asked Izuku with a sweat drop. I mean, I know he's your mentor, said Hibiki with a shrug. You two ain't subtle about it, pointed out Aiko. Yeah, sighed Izuku as he knew everyone in class had realized All Might was mentoring him. Anyways, you know why I'm here, said Hibiki. Izuku sighed, he knew it was about the fight. I might have dropped the ball on this one. I should have known there was a really good chance you would fight him, sighed Hibiki. I should have found time to talk to you about this possibility. I mean, ignoring him is one thing, toying with him and then kicking his ass when you got sick and tired is another. Izuku blushed when Hibiki put it that way. I'm not saying you shouldn't have kicked his ass. I agree you should have, but I think you went overboard and it just wasn't the right time to do it, said Hibiki. Izuku sighed when he said that. Also, I'm not saying that he didn't need to get his ass kicked, I mean the little shit did, said Hibiki. It was too soon for you to do it, you know. Recovery Girl glared at Hibiki, who began to sweat under the glare. You're supposed to be a professional, said Recovery. That boy is in here right now. Look, if you knew half the stuff I know you wouldn't be scolding me right now, said Hibiki. Please don't fight, said Izuku. I do admit young Bakugo needs something to rein in his ego, said All Might, finally stepping into the conversation. But she's got a point, there is a chance he could have regained consciousness, said Aiko, and is listening on this conversation right now. So Recovery Girl nodded in agreement at this. Even if he did give the whole stadium the metaphorical middle finger, we really shouldn't be having this conversation where he could hear us, said Aiko. Should we have the conversation in English? Asked Izuku. What? Asked All Might. Same deal as me, the pirate world spoke English, said Hibiki, and before you ask, I don't know how that works. No one does, there's so many worlds out there. And a lot of them that aren't no Earth languages, it's really weird. Up to you, said All Might. Izuku just shrugged. Anyways, I changed my mind about something and I think you should tell him, said Hibiki. Not or anytime soon, just tell him the truth. You really think so? Asked Izuku. I don't like the bastard, said Hibiki. He might hear that, reminded Recovery Girl. I know, sighed Hibiki, but he's trying to find answers since day 3, 4. Either or. I think you're getting distracted, said Izuku with a sweat drop. Look, I know I said not to let the baby have his bottle, but I didn't think you would have to fight him like this so soon, said Hibiki. Izuku sighed. I'm not saying it telling him today or anytime soon, but just tell him eventually, said Hibiki. When I'm ready, said Izuku. Good answer, said Hibiki. But who knows, with the way you kicked his ass, maybe Captain Boom Boom will get his head out of his ass, said Aiko. Hibiki rolled his eyes. I think I should leave, said Hibiki. You should also talk to your mentor, probably in private. Yeah, said Izuku. Is there another room that we can talk? Said All Might. I'm sure you can find a place, said Recovery Girl. Later, said Hibiki. Peace out, said Aiko. Both Hibiki and Aiko left. Your leg is now fine enough to walk on, said Recovery Girl, just go easy for the rest of the day. Izuku nodded. The two left and Recovery Girl went to check on Bakugo. And he was conscious. So how much did you hear? Asked Recovery Girl. Bakugo didn't answer. Recovery Girl wasn't sure what to say. She did remember what he had said, if you knew half the stuff I know. In an empty hallway, Izuku and All Might decided to talk. Neither one knew what to say. When Izuku definitely decided to give him the basics. Something happened in my past life, said Izuku, and it happened all over again this life. Does it? Said All Might. It does, said Izuku. He began to cry. I wanted to make him suffer, said Izuku. Hell memories is powered by painful memories. And it was a combination of what he put me through and the most painful memories of my past life. All Might was surprised by this revelation. He did so much, and then learning that in my past life I went through the same thing. Said Izuku, should I feel ashamed? All Might sighed, he should have known this would come up. I don't know if there's a right answer, said All Might. Izuku sighed. Look, there are times where there's no right answer, said All Might. Even I had times where my judgment was clouded. I see, said Izuku. You've had another life to live. I'm sure you've had to deal with things like that, said All Might. Yeah, but we were the bad guys. Pointed Izuku. But you were a bad guy, said All Might. Izuku smiled when said that. There's something else I wanted to talk about, said All Might. About what? Asked Izuku. The fact that your flame turned green, said All Might. That was strange, said Izuku, and the flames felt hotter too. It said that the green flames symbolize truth and balance, said All Might. It's probably just the memories I used to power them, said Izuku. I'm sure that if I activated Diable Jam it will be normal fire. He decided to activate, however, both of them were shocked. The flames were still green. How is this even possible? Yelled Izuku, first I have Conquer's Haki and now this. What is even going on? That was when Momo found them. Izuku, said Momo, wait, is your fire still green? How did that happen? I don't know, he cried. Clam down. I'm sure it's fine, said Momo. Then Momo noticed All Might, who was still in his true form. Oh, sorry, said Momo. It's all right, just helping him after his fight, said All Might, figuring out an excuse. Izuku started to calm down as he turned off the flames. There's something I have to tell you, said Momo. Is this about? Said Izuku. No, it's not about my fight with him, said Momo, it's something else. What is it? Asked Izuku. Don't worry, I'll leave you two alone, said All Might. He left the TWP of them to talk. What's wrong? Asked Izuku. It's Ida, or rather his brother, said Momo. Izuku froze as he remembered the conversation during the match with Ida. A villain got him, said Momo, he asked me to tell you. Izuku was absolutely shocked. Before what happened at the USJ, Ida had told him about his older brother. About how proud he was of him. He adored his brother. Any word yet? Asked Izuku. No, said Momo. Izuku sighed. Come on, we should go ask where we should gather for the medal ceremony, said Momo. Yeah, sighed Izuku, but before that. Momo sighed. I couldn't help it, said Momo, we worked so hard together. I wanted to face you in the finals, but at the same time, you didn't want to get in the way of our fight," sighed Izuku. "I'm sorry," said Momo. "It's fine," said Izuku, "but there's something I think we should talk about, even if there is some sadness to it." "What?" asked Momo. "I got first place and you got third," said Izuku. Momo quickly realized what it meant. Along the list of both the Straw Hats and Fairy Tail had in common. If there was the chance to celebrate something, you had to celebrate it. Izuku made a call and sent out a few texts. Soon enough, it was time for the medal ceremony. The three, while the ones that were able to make it, gather in an underground podium which was lifted up to the main stadium. Of course Izuku just ignored Bakugo and paid more attention to Momo. "Here they are, the winners of the first year sports festival," said Midnight. The crowd cheered as the podium was lifted. Now Tenya Ida shares third place, however due to a family emergency, he had to leave early, said Midnight and winked. "Got to love those family relations." "Doesn't she know how to phrase things?" asked Momo. Izuku was however in love mode. "Seriously?" said Momo, giving him an Urza glare. "Sorry," said Izuku, blushing. Bakugo just glared at the two. "All right. And now to give out the awards," said Midnight. Everyone looked up and saw All Might in his hero from on top of the stadium, causing everyone to cheer. He gave his trademark introduction of "I am here." However, Midnight also talked over him, making the whole thing awkward. After that bit of awkwardness, it was time to hand out the medals. "Young Yaoyorozu, you showed a lot of what you can do, and the skill you have. Though you gave up in your last match for unknown reasons. I know you would have given up if you didn't have a good reason," said All Might as he placed the bronze on her neck as well as giving her a hug. He then took the silver. "Young Bakugo, I understand that what you said in your speech didn't happen," said All Might. "Think of it as a learning experience. Just give me the damn medal and don't hug me," yelled Bakugo. Izuku just rolled his eyes as All Might somewhat nervously placed the medal around his neck. All Might then moved to Izuku with the gold. "You have shown a wide range of skills today, from planning to various fighting skills. Even if you felt like you made some mistakes today, it's okay, no one's perfect, not even me," said All Might. He placed the medal around Izuku's neck and then hugged him. "I'm very proud of you," he whispered to Izuku, "and please, if you need someone else to talk to, please talk to me." Izuku nodded as they broke the hug. He then turned to face the other students. "Know this, although none of you first years are standing here on the podium, it still could have been you. Sure, some of you classmates have strange and seemingly impossible skills to beat," said All Might. Izuku could almost feel the stares of his class on him. "But think about what you've done today. You've challenged each other, learned, know that all of you are closer to your dreams of being pros. Now I have one more thing to say. And I want over everyone to say it with me," said All Might. The crowd was all ready to say the school motto. However, let's just say that somehow All Might wasn't on the same page. "Plus Ultra!" yelled the crowd. "Good job, everybody!" The crowd suddenly became silent as almost everyone's sweat dropped. Then the booing started. Sometime later, everyone who could met up in class so Aizawa could give something of a debriefing about how pros who were watching would send out invitations for work-study week as well have 2 days off to recuperate. Once class let out, Momo approached Kaminari about something, as Izuku approached Tokoyami about it as well. As Todoroki was leaving, Izuku approached him. "Hey. I know it's a bit short notice, but tomorrow I'm having a small party for myself and Momo," said Izuku. "We decided to invite everyone from our teams in the cavalry battle." "I'm sorry, but I have to decline," said Todoroki. "There's something I have to do." Izuku got the feeling about what it was. That he was going to see his mother. "Good luck," he said. Todoroki nodded. Bakugo had listened to this and walked away. After he switched out his shoes, he heard a voice call out. "So learn to be honest with yourself yet?" asked Toru, making him jump. "Where did you come from?" asked Bakugo. "Is that an invisible crack?" asked Toru. Bakugo just glared at her. "He's hurting a lot," said Toru. "We all are, and I know you tried to make light of everything." "What did he go through?" asked Bakugo. "I can't tell you," said Toru. "You know that. I'm not betraying my friend's trust, because that's the fastest way to lose a friend. Forever," yelled a second Toru, appearing and disappearing just as quickly. "What the fuck?" yelled Bakugo. "How the hell did you just do that?" Toru just hummed "I don't know" and shrugged. "I don't know what you're talking about, being honest with myself," said Bakugo. "Seriously," said Toru. "Man, you're more stubborn than cranky." And he was an actual donkey. "Look, I don't care if he's hiding something from me. I don't care that he knows he has to tell me what's really going on. I don't care if he had a crappy life and a crappy dad in his past life. I don't care if he knows what it's like to die. I don't care about him," yelled Bakugo. "It sounds like you do care," said Toru. Bakugo froze when she said that. "Also, how do you know about his dad in his past life?" asked Toru. Bakugo froze even further. She then stuffed one of her trademark cupcakes into his mouth. "You know what? I guess that's not important," she said. "Anyway, I have a lot of cupcakes to make for tomorrow." She ran off, leaving him a little baffled, actually extremely baffled. He swallowed the cupcake and rolled his eye. He wasn't sure why, but he felt a little better. The next day at Izuku's apartment, Inko was crying. "Moms, it's okay," said Izuku as he chopping some vegetables. "I'm sorry. I'm just so proud," cried Inko. "Not only that, but you're having a party." Izuku laughed. It was small, just the members of the teams who could make it plus Mashireo. That was when there was a knock on the door. It was Momo. "Am I the first?" asked Momo, who it was clear she was hoping she was the first, as she was the only one who had been over before. "You are," said Izuku. "Oh, hello, Momo," said Inko. "I'm so glad that your training paid off." "Thanks," said Momo, blushing. She saw that Inko was crying and comforted her. "I'm sorry," said Inko. "I'm just so happy with everything." There was another knock on the door. "I'll get it," said Momo. Turned out it was Toru, carrying a lot of pink boxes in one arm and Mashireo's hand in the other. As well as Kaminari, who was there too. "Come on in, we're all in the kitchen," said Momo. They were shocked as Izuku skillfully put the ingredients into the pan like it was nothing. "Okay, I knew you were a cook, but that's just crazy," said Kaminari. "Well, when you learn to cook good in your past life, it stick with you," said Toru. "So are you going to give us the tour later?" said Mashireo. "Yeah, totally," said Izuku, sweating a little. Momo just shrugged at him. After all, she saw his room. There was another knock. "I'll get it," said Toru. It was Achiko and Tokoyami. "So is this everyone?" asked Achiko. "Yeah. I invited Hibiki, but he had some stuff to do," said Izuku. "What about Todoroki, was it?" asked Inko. "He couldn't make it, he had to do something very important," said Izuku. "I see," said Inko. That was when Inko started to cry again. "I'm sorry. I'm just so happy. Mom, please stop crying. You don't want to pass out again," said Izuku. "I'll be fine," said Ino, managing to stop crying. "I passed out several times from dehydration yesterday. I couldn't help it." "So that's where he gets from," thought everyone but Momo. Soon enough lunch was ready and almost everyone gaped at its prestation. "Well," said Izuku, a little embarrassed. "You were a pirate right in your past life, right?" asked Kaminari. "Yeah," said Izuku. "This is like gourmet though," said Kaminari. "I know," said Izuku. "From what I heard, Izuku's past life was weird," said Inko. Izuku had told her a bit about his past life and some of the stranger aspects of it. Being a gourmet chef on a pirate ship isn't as strange as cyborg shipwright, a reindeer doctor, or skeleton musician, said Inko. "Reindeer doctor?" asked Toru. "Skeleton musician?" asked Mashireo. "Have you been holding out on us?" asked Achiko. "It just came up," said Izuku. "I meant to tell you eventually. Anyways, we should eat," said Toru. They all started eating, and those who hadn't eaten his cooking were just as surprised by the taste. "This is quite delicious," said Tokoyami, managing not to let himself pig out. He was the only one who was the first time eating it not pigging out, to be honest. Izuku blushed at the reaction. "It's a shame Katsuki couldn't make it," said Inko. This made the five from the therapy stopped eating and froze. "What?" asked Kaminari. "You know it's not his thing," said Izuku. "I guess you're right," said Inko. Kaminari shrugged and kept eating. "So you know Bakugo?" asked Tokoyami. "Of course," said Inko. "He still calls me auntie, just don't spread that around, I'm sure he would be angry." "Okay, that is messed up," said Mashireo. "He doesn't want her to know," whispered Toru. "Do you know what Todoroki is doing?" asked Achiko, knowing it was better to change the subject. "Personal things," said Izuku. He knew what it was, but he was going to say what it was since, well, it was personal. "That went nowhere fast," said Kaminari. "Oh, what's a shipwright?" asked Toru, finding another good topic. Izuku began to explain what a shipwright was, thankfully swinging the conversation away from everything to with Katsuki. And so the rest of the little party went rather well, but he did have to show off his room eventually. But it's probably better not to get into that. Meanwhile, Hibiki was reading some reports about what Priestess has been doing in the past couple weeks. It had appeared she had used her quirk a lot since the USJ. "Hey Dad," said Aiko. Hibiki froze. Aiko only called him Dad if something was extremely wrong. "If I did something and it could hurt one of the kids' progress in a way I didn't see coming, what should I do, and when should I do it?" said Aiko. "What happened?" said Hibiki. "One of my memes blew up. It blew up not because of the meme itself, but rather something else," said Aiko. Hibiki got a bad feeling about that. And things were about change for Class 1A all because of Aiko's memeing. And it wasn't even one of her better memes that came out of the sports festival. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 19. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.